Verse 9, he came there to a cave and he lodged there, and behold, isn't this great? The word of the Lord came to him there. Rather than, well, now look where you've gotten. You're now in a cave. That's worse than under a tree. Doesn't do that. He comes to him there and he says, what are you doing here, Elijah? Isn't that a great question? Why are you there? What are you doing in there? He said, I've been very zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. For the sons of Israel have forsaken your covenant, torn down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword. And I alone am left, and they seek my life to take it away. It's all about Elijah. And before we beat up on him, I tell you that is such a common response when you're discouraged. You start thinking of all the things that you've done and how faithful you've been and how right you've tried to be and how strong, and under it all is how proud you are of that. Rather than, Lord, the breath in my lungs comes from you. The pulse beat in my heart is from you. The ability to wake up in the morning and face the day is because of you. Your faithfulness is new every morning. And the Lord doesn't even rebuke him after verse 10. Boy, that was a perfect time to slam him to the mat, isn't it? But he doesn't. So he said, go out there and stand on the mountain before the Lord. Behold, the Lord was passing by, and a great strong wind was rending the mountains and breaking in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord wasn't in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of a gentle blowing. And it came about when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his mantle and stood at the entrance of the cave. What a great, if you're an artist, paint that for us. What a great moment in Elijah's life. He's wrapped the mantle around him. You can just see his eyes peeking out from that. And a voice came and said, what are you doing here, Elijah? See, the question is designed to help Elijah think through his stuff. The interesting thing about the Lord in his plan is that he doesn't just instantly stop stuff. He probes us. The test lasts. I learned from Mrs. Dwight Pentecost years ago. She said to me one time, Chuck, God not only plans the depth of a test, but the length of them. God not only plans the depth of a test, but the length of them. God could have instantly removed all of this from Elijah, taken the burden right off his back, but he didn't. He's having Elijah work his way through it, just like a divine counselor would ask you the questions to make you answer back and think out loud. Why does this get to me? Why am I staying in this mental state? Why do I yield to this? Why was I afraid of the words of Jezebel? What was it that made me run? So God's giving him insights by asking these questions. Why are you there? What are you doing in there?